Hello guys, many of you asked me to show you how I do my makeup lately for my music videos. Many of you are subscribed on my music channel and my makeup there is pretty much same. Sometimes I do some changes, but as far as this type of makeup, this my smoky eye that I'm doing all the time, not only for that channel but for this channel too, it's so easy to do and it's so fast for me. I don't have to think much, I just don't spend much time on it. My hands are so used to do this makeup and I'm pretty confident in the colors that I choose, so it's becoming less unpredictable, because you see, when you're filming the videos, sometimes you're doing the makeup and you like it, then you film your videos like several hours long and then you put it on your computer to edit and you were like, oh my god, this eye is like not even, or that line is not even, or I should have done those lines shorter or more uplifted, I shouldn't have done this or that. And this makeup is so checked already, it's so much approved by me when I'm doing my videos, and I have to get ready very fast because I have many sometimes videos in a row to shoot. I already know where to apply, what to apply, and how it's gonna look on camera. If you are subscribed on my channel for a long time, for more than 6 years, you will notice that all that I use is pretty much same. It's very funny. I'm kind of like a beauty blogger with a beauty channel for over 7 years, and the products that I use, I bought them like 7 years ago and I still use them, and I rarely buy new makeup for myself, but soon I will, so stay tuned for that. Alright, so let me show you how I do this type of makeup on myself. So the foundation I'm gonna use is MAC NC30. It's my favorite brush, Bobbi Brown Full Coverage Face, it's called. I'm just applying it all over my face always, including my lips and a little bit under my eyes too. I always apply it on my neck, and unfortunately this MAC foundation is giving me breakouts lately. I'm trying to find another foundation that would have pretty same effect on the skin, that would look pretty same, because it's pretty thin. So very often for my videos I do 2 coats, and for the stage the light is very bright, and so I noticed that the light actually goes through the foundation, that one layer on foundation, and kind of my own skin color with some discoloration is kind of still shining through. So with 2 coats it's more uniform. That's what I like about it. It has nothing to do with my everyday makeup, and actually every day I wear 0 makeup. Sometimes I just can use some mascara, maybe a little bit of a concealer sometimes, but it's pretty rare. Sometimes I do use concealer, and I use 24-hour MAC Studio Fix. It's slightly lighter. It's NC25, and I normally use it like that, and from my lip up there. It just broke. Okay, I'm gonna do it with my fingers then, and then I'm gonna figure out something. So on the sides of my nose, it's pretty much in many places. I always do it above my upper lip, because sometimes when I'm performing and the light is shining from up there, and it gives me a shadow underneath my nose, and my nose is not very small, my nose is pretty long and sharp, so it gives like shadow underneath my nose anyway, but then when the light is shining from the top, from up there, it gives me some shadow here. So I always put some lighter concealer underneath my nose, but of course it has nothing to do with the makeup tip for you guys, because everybody's face is different and the places where you appear to be are different too. So, and normally I blend it with same foundation brush, because I don't like to have many products and to carry many products with me. It's like I try to minimize the products that I have and I use. It gives me additional layer, and it also giving lighter areas in my face. It's basically like a part of a contouring. I have 2 favorite loose powders right now. It's a MAC Prep and Prime, looks like this, or Laura Mercier, a translucent loose powder. Both of them are great for filming. They're not thick layers, so from time to time I start shining pretty fast. So for that, I have this old-fashioned L'Oreal True Match powder. When I'm filming my video and in between takes, I just take this powder and I powder right there by my nose. So I'm gonna show you how I do it now. But like when I'm going out, when I need to have pretty good quality makeup, so when people gonna stand close to me and they're gonna see my skin, of course I don't want to over powder it with this kind of thick powder. So I would use MAC Prep and Prime or Laura Mercier powder, of course. Like I like when I'm shiny sometimes slightly, but not on the videos, because on the videos it doesn't look even like in life. Like when I get shiny and look in the mirror, I like it, but then when I'm editing the video actually with color correction and stuff, it just, I don't like it. I look more swollen, I would say, than like healthy shiny. Making this very thick layer of a powder because I'm gonna contour this on top. I also apply a little bit on my neck because under my neck I'm gonna also slightly contour it. So for me, for my type of structure, for my type of a face, to powder my face very well and make it super matte is very important, because my face is always pretty puffy and it has like some puffy areas and stuff. So I just in general look more tight and awake when I just powder my face. But it's not for everyone. Like everyone have their own special hacks for their own type of faces. So for me, having that matte face is very important for my overall look. Sometimes I don't even care about my eye makeup or my lip makeup and stuff. When I'm powdered and I have slightly more uniform color of my face, I feel better. And for my concealer, sometimes I use this Bobbi Brown brush. It says full coverage touch up, and it's a great size of a brush for concealers, for buffing in some, like in smaller areas. So it's an amazing one, and I use it pretty often sometimes just to add my concealer. I almost ran out of my contouring powder. You remember this guy, right? So it's Kat Von D contouring palette, and this is what I've left with. So this is darker shades. Actually, I'm using this darkest shade now because I'm super tan, and before, like, I was in Russia for 6 years or something, I didn't have any sun on me, so I used all the lighter shades over there. But now I finally can use this one. And this one, actually, I don't know, it's like slightly peachy color. Maybe I will use this one too. Let me try this. Actually, yeah, it's a nice one. So I think I'm tan enough to use this one too. I never throw away my cosmetics. I try to use everything until like it's finished. So I might use this one because I like the texture very well. I didn't like the color because it was just in between blush for me and the powder before, when I had like super white skin. So right now I probably will try this. But for my contour, I use this one. Yeah, it's pretty dark, but I use Bobbi Brown blush brush, and it's pretty nice, very soft and fluffy. And for my bigger areas, I use this, just making my chin more shaped. Because again, when there is a lot of very bright light shining on my face, sometimes it shines also on my neck too. And my neck, as far as it's basically slightly lighter color, it really looks more forward than it actually is. So if you could see me in person, I don't need this. But in a video, for some reason, everything kind of flattens out, and the distance between things, it becomes slightly weird, slightly unrealistic. So just to add this reality back to the picture, I would say I'm doing this. Then I don't like to draw my cheekbones anymore. So all I do, adding some definition to my face by just adding some dark powder on the sides of my face, slightly here, in the areas where I would do blush. Basically, that's it. For my nose, I sometimes don't contour it at all. Sometimes I use the contouring, like, again, when sometimes the light is shining on me from above, my nose is catching the light too much, and then it drops the shadow underneath. So what I like to do, I use, you remember this, right? 6 years ago, I used same eyeshadow, same palette. Is my favorite one. I use it always, but it doesn't finish. It's very funny. It's my MAC palette that I combined myself. 2 of these eyeshadows are discontinued, and I used same one when I was doing this my most popular video about huge eyes, which now has 13 million views. I still use it. I carry it with me all the time, and I still use it. It's very funny. So I use this Quarry MAC eyeshadow. I'm not sure if they still have it or they discontinued it, but I'm gonna leave the link down below on all the makeup products that I use now. I will find each one if they didn't discontinue them. So for my nose, sometimes that's what I do. I just put eyeshadow on my finger and I just apply very carefully on the tip of my nose like this. So it would not look so disproportionate when the light is actually shining from above on my face. And going around like this. Sometimes what I do, I take my MAC 116 contouring brush and I use some contouring powder to contour my nose, just adding some on the side. I just squeeze it like this and I make just some shadows on the sides here on my tip. I don't need too much on my bridge because my bridge is pretty thin. Sometimes I just apply a little bit darker right there on top of my nose. And yes, I'm still using this Too Faced chocolate bar palette. And I don't know, actually, it's very funny. I do my makeup 5 times a week, full makeup, and actually lately it's like too intense because besides of filming a lot of videos, like I'm doing 10 videos per month, and I'm also performing. So when I'm performing, I'm also doing full makeup, and I still don't run out of my products, so I don't have anything extra. I didn't buy any eyeshadow in 6-7 years. So I have this eyeshadow and this eyeshadow. I don't use anything else. What I love about this is this shimmering highlighter. I love it. So I use it sometimes to shine myself, but I don't use it everywhere because, as I said, my face is quite puffy, and it's quite puffy in sometimes in quite unwanted places. So what I do, I just smile and I just apply it here and sometimes on the cheeks, on the apples of my cheeks. But when I smile, my apples on my cheeks are pretty low, and even though they are low, I like it when I smile, they shine and I look more dewy. But I can't do it all over my face because otherwise I would look extremely sick, like other girls can do, like their face is pretty tight on top of their bones. I don't like how I look. I look really sick, very swollen and puffy. So I just do it only on some certain places where it doesn't show my puffiness. I never do it on my nose because why would I want my nose catch more light? It's already catching pretty enough light. Sometimes I do it on top here, and I also do it just to slightly eliminate the powdery effect, because as far as I have tons of powder, I can do it sometimes above my lip, but not more than that. And sometimes if I'm more swollen, then I'm having those lines here, and then if I apply this shiny material on top, then it shows the bump in there, and I don't like it. So I just see how I look, how I feel. For my brows are thin and they're pretty light color. Sometimes I just dye my brows, but they're still pretty light and they get pretty light very fast. So I'm just taking the small brush. For my brows, I'm actually using this color. It's called Triple Fudge, but sometimes it's too dark for me. So sometimes I go for MAC charcoal brown color. It's quite softer, and I use that charcoal brown for the daytime sometimes. So when I'm doing my brows, I'm actually building my brow a little bit on top rather than on the bottom, because I want my brows to look slightly lifted, and I don't like too thick brows on me. It gives me some roughness on my face because I have pretty strong bone structure anyway on my face, and I don't want to make it more rough for me. So I think I look good with middle-sized brows. And then what's left on the brush, I'm adding a little bit here and spoolie. So my brow is most intense in the center, then it goes to nothing here and goes to nothing there. And even though they are pretty dark, and I use pretty dark and intense color, but they don't look as artificial and dark because the brush is pretty soft and the edges are pretty soft. They're not as if they're drawn with a marker. Now let's go to my eyes. I'm still using this smoky eyeshadow pencil by Maybelline, and it's almost finished. It's a huge pencil like this, and it's very creamy. It's just created for smoky eye, and it's very comfortable to use, but I think they discontinued this. I'm applying it on my waterline, and before I did my Kate Moss makeup tutorial, remember that, many years ago. So before that, I never ever even tried to do this waterline on myself, and I felt like that's a big no-no for me because I have pretty big like puffy cheeks, and I felt like and not large eyes. So I was thinking if I make my eyes even smaller than that, then my cheeks will look even larger. But it's not the point, because the point on this kind of a makeup is always the area that you're blending it to, but not the inside the line, not the waterline itself. And this waterline is giving so much drama to the eyes, so much preciseness, and it catches the attention very much. That kind of eyes, they catch so much attention. And also what it does, it really pops any eye color that you have. It doesn't matter what kind of eye color you have. If you're doing the same makeup as this, it will pop. For example, my eyes, they are like in between brown and green, but you won't see it now. Now they look more brown, but as soon as I do my eyeshadow, then you will see it will kind of start pop, like on these pictures on my music videos, where I used actually much more light. Right now I have just one lamp, and in that video that you see now, I used two very bright lamps right on my face, and then one lamp was on the back, and you can see how much my eyes are just popping. My eye color, they even look like green more, like they have hazel actually. So I'm doing this very fast line. I'm not trying to make this line very neat. Anyway, I'm blending it with the sponge. And also on the bottom, I also don't try to make it very neat. Sometimes I just blend it like that. So this is the basic for my makeup. Now I have my favorite eyeshadow that I'm doing all my smoky eyes right now with. They have this color that is called Black Forest Truffle. This one. This color, Black Forest Truffle. It is very beautiful color. It's brown purple with some golden sparkles. So interesting. That is making this purple, brown, gray color slightly warmer. Those golden sparkles, but again, not very warm. To apply this one, I'm gonna use MAC 217 brush. It's a very famous brush. I love it still very much. What I don't like about it is it's pretty rough actually. I will try to find something softer, and I think Bobbi Brown has something softer, so I'm gonna look in Bobbi Brown's brushes. I'm just a fan of Bobbi Brown brushes right now, so I just bought many of them and I use mostly them. So what I do is I'm just applying it all over my eye. And I know exactly where I should stop blending my eyeshadow with my eyes closed already, because I know my eyes very well. So I'm looking at my brow and I'm looking at my crease, and I know exactly where I should stop blending. And if you know your eye shape very well, that's normally what's happening. And so you're not bothered anymore with, like, you can do basically any makeup on yourself. And then I'm not blending it too down there, because for me it's not gonna look beautiful. And also for this kind of a makeup, this makeup is a short-eyed makeup. I call it short-eyed. So I'm not elongating my eyes. I'm just making them short and small. I keep them small. It's like a small eye makeup and I love it. You see, so I'm just not dropping in there. What I do sometimes, I'm using this brush, Bobbi Brown brush. It's called Smudge. It looks like a pencil brush, but pencil brush is more precise in the end. This one is more rounded and it's very soft. And I'm taking this typographic gray matte color by MAC, sometimes, not always though. Taking it a little bit on the brush, and then I'm adding this on the side. And I'm kind of like connecting the end of my eye line here to the eyeshadow that I just blended. So I would not drop the line down there below that, like that. And sometimes I can slightly do that blendage, and then what's left, I'm applying it here and I'm blending it underneath. And sometimes I blend more, sometimes less. If I'm pretty puffy, I blend more, because the more you blend, the less puffiness you have on your face. The less puffiness is visible basically, because you see how much I'm just opening my eye. And if I did too much, I just use a Q-tip, and especially on the side, because again, as I say, I'm really careful about not to drop things down here. And on the outer corner, on the lower and on the upper lid. So I'm just really being careful with that. I would rather go more here than here. And also it will help me to lift up my eye like this. Sometimes when I think that I did too much, I can just go over with some regular powder and blend a little bit the end. But I'm not always using same color under eyes. Sometimes I can use something more shimmery, or for example this warm brown color. Sometimes I can use this under my eyes. Actually looks pretty cool. Let me try and just double it with warm shimmery color, so I'll show you how it looks like. Actually gives some freshness to the eyes, makes the eye color pop too, especially under the pupil. I can add it. And it's also very cool to blend with this color. And if you don't want to, if I don't want to like over dark eyes, over dark smoky eye, I'm adding this color. And sometimes I can add it here in the center of my eye. Then I close my eyes and I'm checking how even it is, because sometimes one eye is more sheer than another. So I'm just going over and adding a little bit of a darker spot here. And then I look at myself pretty straight, and because nobody's eyes are equal, so I'm trying to equalize my eyes by adding, for example, more here on the side, because this eye is shorter than this one. This one is kind of longer. To make them more equal, sometimes I'm always taking care of this waterline corner here to make it more black, just to shorten this eye a little bit so they would look more similar. Then I'm using this eyelash primer. It's called Lancome Seals Booster XL base mascara base. I always run out of it, and I'm gonna buy a full one because this one, it was a present from my friend and I like it very much. So if you watched my big eyes, huge eyes video, you know that I'm a fan of double mascaras. And at that time, many years ago, when I used to do that huge eyes makeup on myself, before it was even a YouTube, L'Oreal started doing this type of mascaras at that time, like double-ended, black and white. Now mascaras, I need to buy mascaras. Please help me to find a mascara that is not smudging and transferring and is not flaking. Like this one by Maybelline, it was pretty good. It's almost dry now and it started flaking. Maybe because it's old and I just need to buy a new one. Let me know what you think about this one. I bought this very expensive mascara, which was very stupid of me. Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk push-up lashes. Such money, and it's always transferring. It's not flaking, it is smudging underneath my eyes and on top all the time. And when I'm performing, like I have to look in the mirror all the time after almost each song, just to make sure that because it's just going down. It's going here on the side. It doesn't matter if I'm sweaty or not. So I'm really having a big problem with this one. But as I told you, especially as far as it's expensive, I have to use it until the end. So sometimes what I do, I use very bad mascara, and then on top I'm just making a different coat with another mascara, basically, that is better. But right now I'm gonna do it with this one because I have to use it all before I buy a new one. But very soon, in a couple of weeks, I'm gonna go to the shop and to make a huge haul of cosmetics. So let me know if you're interested when I do this haul, maybe just to make a little chat video about like what I bought and why. They sell some stuff in the United States that they don't sell in Russia, and so I'm gonna try loads of new things. For example, Anastasia Beverly Hills, they don't sell it in Russia. They sell it, you can buy it somewhere, I think, but it's like so expensive because somebody's just bringing it from the United States, I think, over there. And I'm thinking about getting my custom palette for dry contouring. So I'm just thinking about getting light powders, light yellow powders and darker powders for contouring. Let me know, guys, if you like the quality of Anastasia Beverly Hills, and if you tried it, Kat Von D one, the one that I'm using, if you tried it and if you liked it, or it didn't work for you, just let me know, because this Kat Von D one is great. It's a great quality and I love it very much, and maybe I will repurchase it. If the one of Anastasia won't fit, I will maybe repurchase this. I'm always do several coats of mascara because my lashes, I like when it's spider lashes. I love thick lashes and very unnatural lashes. That's my thing. Just so women who have slightly youthful face, but it's puffy, so they can find this trick pretty cool actually, just to make a little bit more coats of mascara. Now I'm gonna be doing my lips, and the cap is longer now than the pencil itself, and this is MAC Half Red. It's my favorite lip pencil. I'm talking about this lip pencil for like last 7 years on my channel, so it's my favorite lip pencil, and I think this kind of lip pencil is like your darkened and exaggerated natural lip color, at least for me and for people who I used it on. For my mom and for several more people that I use it on. Wonderful color, because if you blend it or you make it and on top you apply some foundation, I will show you now. I slightly overdrawing my lip on the bottom and on top too, because it gives me some that slightly 90s look that I like. It's kind of like matte dusty Bordeaux color. Normally what I do, I line my lips and then with my finger I'm blending the line and smiling a little bit to stretch the wrinkles on my lips, and I'm trying not to blend it outwards, just inward. Then I'm going a little bit on top again, maybe filling in a little bit in the middle, but still kind of creating a little bit of a gradient, but still I'm blending it with my finger. This is the color. Sometimes it looks pretty intense having both eyes and lips, pretty bright, but I like it on myself first of all. It doesn't make me look heavy. It doesn't make my face look heavy because my face already looks quite strong. Not very delicate. I don't have very delicate bone structure, bones, or I don't know, nose, cheeks, and everything is slightly on a stronger side. So for me, that kind of matte, intense makeup, both eyes and lips, it doesn't make me look much older or tired or anything like that. On contrary, it kind of pops me up, especially if I have a lot of light, and that light really lightens all the dark things, and it looks just like a normal daytime smoky eye. What I can do sometimes is I can take powder and just powder my lips on top. And you can see how more nude they became. To make this pencil even more stable, I sometimes go over again. Especially on top, not in the center of my lips. Sometimes I use lip gloss, but I don't have any lip glosses. Absolutely none. I don't have any red lipsticks. I'm gonna buy Ruby Woo by MAC, probably. I tried it several times and I think it's an amazing color and amazing texture. I loved the texture, but when I'm gonna buy it, I'm gonna do another video just to show you what I got, if I got it or not. I actually have one more favorite lip pencil, is MAC Whirl. So I will show you. This is Half Red and this is Whirl. So you see Whirl is slightly softer brown. This one is more intense Bordeaux color, but when I'm blending them, they both blend very beautifully. The Whirl is given a little bit like, it's colorless. Looks like it doesn't have any color in it. So it looks a little bit grayish on the lips. So sometimes I feel like it doesn't give me some livingness. So I feel like adding something pinkish. But Half Red, it does contain some red color in it. So it doesn't make my lips too pale. Because I don't like blush, and I rarely apply blush. My hair is growing, finally. Remember, they were breaking so much and I used to cut them over and over again. Maybe tomorrow I'll go, and I'm right now on the boat, on the ship, and there's a hairdresser here. She's amazing, and she normally cuts my hair and colors it while I'm here. So she's gonna probably cut it like that, slightly shorter. If she does, I'll show it on my Instagram, so subscribe on my Instagram. Maybe a little bit more because I still have some unhealthy ends here. Maybe a little bit left. Remember, I had a video like what happened to my hair when I changed completely from long blonde hair to short dark, and why all this happened and why it started breaking. So I'm still growing them. So this is that area when it was still breaking several years ago. So if we cut it, then the ends will be even thicker and even more precise, and it will line when it lies, it will have more shape. It will be more shapy, and I'm going for this, and then maybe I will wait a little bit so it would slightly grow a little bit longer, but maybe not longer than this because I love bobs. I'm still a huge fan of bobs. This is how I do my makeup for my videos. Subscribe on my Pinterest for 13 boards as an inspiration for the body types. Also, you can subscribe on my Instagram. All the links I'm gonna leave down below. Also, you can become my sponsor or subscribe on my Patreon for some exclusive videos, some early access to these videos, and just if you want to support me and my channel. Thank you so much, guys, and I'll see you very soon. Bye bye.